Hey, this is GloopDawg, aka Todd Garrett's in real life, your four-legged Twitch friend, and this is the Annie Talks Show.
Hey, everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I don't know why I get like this, but I just do, everybody. Thank you. Wow, let's see who we have here. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody in chat. Hello, everybody out in Twitch land. Hello, everybody. All the people that came over from Twitch Sings or wherever you stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really, truly appreciate it. Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh goodness, thank you for all that. Oh goodness, thank you. I am super excited. Thank you guys. Oh gosh, I probably should have disabled all that, but thank you. You never get too tired of hearing those, right? So, I am super excited to bring to you this podcast, this interview. I've worked for like 2 weeks now to try to get this together, and I'm so happy that our guest has graciously said yes to being here. And so, if you're new to the stream, my name is Annie Rivera. I'm Annie Talks, our Annie Talks Show, as some of you guys know me, and I have a wonderful guest here on the other side of me. So without further ado, everybody, please welcome to the show, Mr. GloopDawg. Woohoo! Can we see some hype in the chat? You guys, some hype. Woohoo!
Thanks, chat.
Oh my
Thanks for
goodness.
coming in.
Oh goodness, I am super excited. I get like super giddy like about this time because I'm like, oh my gosh. So, everybody, if you don't know who Gloop is or GloopDawg, is it okay if I call you Gloop?
Yes, absolutely.
I should have just like gotten all the formality out of the way. But if you don't know who Gloop is or GloopDawg, he is a streamer here on Twitch Things. I'm sure that he's on others, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But you might see him. You might have been in his stream a few times. Maybe he's come and sung in yours a few times. But definitely, let me turn off this music because it's like not even happening anymore. But I'm super excited to have him again. Like I said, this is GloopDawg, and let me tell you a little bit more about him. He was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri. I will call him Todd. Todd began show choir and musicals in high school after getting his degree in theater from Mizzou. Todd moved to Los Angeles. He seized opportunity and built a mortgage bank during the real estate boom of the early 2000s. Leaving before the bubble bursts, as he says, Todd took the money he made to further his music career. He spent 5 years playing up and down the West Coast with his cover band, the Frank and Todd Show. In 2007, his dream of becoming a filmmaker came true as he joined the local 80 Grip Union. He has worked on such films as Suicide Squad, Spiderman, Homecoming, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He digs astronomy, which is why we have this lovely Earth background here, and philosophy, gaming. Oh my goodness, thank you, and wrestling. Oh goodness. Thank you. And he plays. Oh my gosh, get this, you guys. He plays 12 instruments. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Natsu. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited that you guys are here. Yes, let's say hello to chat. Let's see who we have here. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Here's the host. It's Annie Talks. Well, we've got, we're going to take out the magic mirror, as Phileas says. We take out the magic mirror and we look through romper room mirrors and we say, we see Natsu, we see Highlander. And we got Spider Monkey, Final Noodles, Sugarath. Oh, goodness, Phileas, hello, everybody. Evie, we got Evisceratus. Oh my goodness, I can never say it. Aleandras. Hello, everybody. Brand new Ink Mr. Limpet. Oh my goodness. I'm so thrilled. We have Curly Doobie, Piara Games. Is that how you say that? I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Sorry, everybody. Dressy or Dre. Go eat rice. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish I could say everybody's names, but thank you so much for being here. You guys, if you don't already know, I think congratulations are in order for Mr. GloopDawg. If you don't already know, if you were living under a rock, if you're if you were living under a rock, do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Were you watching? Do you know GloopDawg and his partner what is it?
Holicaholic.
Holicaholic. Thank you. I couldn't even say it. Holicaholic and Mr. GloopDawg here were the winners of today's Dare to Duet. So let's everybody, please, 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 please. Everybody just chat away and say hooray, congratulations, whatever you want to say to him. Just spam that chat, everybody. Let him know that you were watching. Let him know you were thinking about him. You know, there's so much that went on today, and it's just, how was that for you?
It was unreal. First of all, I was at work, so that was a whole
God.
different experience. So I was working on the current film I'm working on, which is Space Jam 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they started us on Saturdays, and so I was at work, and my boss was like, "Yeah, we're on a stage. It's pretty minimal and all that kind of stuff, so you can kind of like disappear into the office and kind of do your thing." So I was like, he's also a staunch supporter of the fact that I'm streaming and doing Twitch things and stuff. So he was like, "Yeah, go get it." So I was super stoked. So
Yay! Well, good for you. Now, okay, so we're talking offline. Just before we came on, this is your first time on Dare to Duet, is that correct?
it was my first submission and my first time being accepted and my first time on it. Yes.
Amazing. First time any wins. Oh my gosh. First of all, my first time I wasn't even near half of what he did. So, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. You know, let's just get right to it. I mean, how was that the submission to picking your teams? I heard a little bit today that the teams were kind of formed midweek, and there was all this debacle going on. So, I mean, if you wouldn't mind, I would love to. You know, I'm sure inquiring minds would like to know specifically, like what happened, and then what led up to the elation of being crowned the the
crown,
Dare to,
right?
yeah.
Well, it started with the submission, which is the easiest process in the world.
Yeah.
They made it super easy. All you need to do is link your, give them an email address and link your Twitch, account to it. And if you want to submit some VODs that you're happy with, you can, but you don't need to, because the captains are just going to go into your entire Twitch Sings profile and take a look at it. And so the way that they do it is they divvy up the 16 players amongst the 4 captains, and they throw them into the pool. And they've done the selection process a number of different ways. And as I understood this time, they were adamant about making sure that everyone was chosen from the queue. Some weeks the captains just choose who they want to amongst their friends or whatever. Some weeks it's random on a wheel. I mean, they're switching up the selection process continuously, which is great.
Right.
But they Felicity messaged me and said, "Hey, we want to have you in the contest." And I was like, "Yes, I want to be in." And so then they put us in a pool of 4 people with each captain. So they put myself and 3 other individuals in with Tommy T 23. And it was actually one of the individuals was ill, couldn't do it. So he had to bounce. So he accepted the invitation, came to the group and was like, "I am going through some serious issues right now. I got to bounce out." So then the other 2 people in the group were Terraglot and Local Deluxe, who know each other really well. And I know I didn't know Terra, but I knew Local fairly well. Only met him in the last week and a half or so, just through randomity of Twitch Sings, and totally clicked with him. But no, all that being aside, it was yeah, those 2 guys were instantly like, "Yeah, dude, we've done a million duets together. It's on. So good luck, whoever just quits Gloop." And I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm ready." And then Holicaholic came in, and I was like, "Oh, dude." It was sexy gaming. I'm sure I can say that, but he was suffering from major toothache issues and miserable. And he still is suffering from it. So he's like, "I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to give my all." And I was like, "Sexy." It's like, he's like, Sexy is like one of the first people I met on Twitch Sings. And so I was like, "Oh no." But then Holicaholic came in, And I was like, well, Holicaholic and I immediately clicked on our first duet we did together months ago. He's been in my stream tons of times. I've been in his stream tons of times. And it was like, oh my goodness, dreams do come true. Anyway, so then it was like, we were like, yeah, you two can go do whatever you want to, because I got Holic now. And so then the rehearsal process starts. So you get with your partner and you start talking about songs that you both are interested in. And we made a list of songs we were interested in. We narrowed it down to the 2 we wanted to do. And then it was a matter of just figuring out how we wanted to stylize them. And so I took Holicaholic did a lot of the song selection and making sure that it was, broad range and all that kind of stuff. And then I took the mantle of trying to figure out how we were going to stylize it. And he was so open-minded to everything and so just down with whatever we wanted to do. And it was super cool. And so we came up with the 2 ideas that we had for the 2 songs that we had. And then spent the next 2 or 3 days, because I'm working 12-hour days on this Space Jam. We took, I'd get home at 7, 8 o'clock, and then I'd rehearse from whatever till midnight-ish or whatever, and then get up at 4 or 5 8.
Man.
Same thing again all week long. It was pretty arduous, but it was worth it. Worth every minute of it.
Now there was a technical issue. Something happened. What was? I heard a little bit of that. Can you? Are you able to explain?
Seeds down. Yeah, we had laid seeds down and stuff, and we had actually completed some seeds. We completed the first one. She sang to me, and they were saying, if you complete things and you have completions, the way they used to do it in the past is they would tell you just delete it out of Twitch Sings, so that way people who are searching around through Twitch Sings can't find that stuff, and your VODs will still stay up there. But apparently, in one of the most recent duets or updates, of Twitch Sings, that all went away. So if you delete it out of Twitch Sings, your VOD is also gone as well. I'm not sure when that happened, but so we did and the other team did it too. Terra Glot and Local Deluxe did it too. I'm not sure if any other teams from any other captains did it. So we all were we were happy with what we had, and then we deleted it out of Twitch Sings and lost all the work we did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no. Okay. And then Tommy was like, no more deleting anything.
Yeah, seriously.
Everything's changed now. But Holic and I were we're confident in it. We can nail this. So this was literally last night. So Thursday night, we laid it down and found out the deletions happened. And then we'd already been exhausted. And so then we came in Friday night and smashed out the Mark Anthony and won. And we were both really confident in Kryptonite and what we could do with that one and where that was going to go. And it was be a lot easier than the coordination of what we did on She Sang to Me. So we were like, oh, we'll just Kryptonite. So, but anyway, so that was the technical difficulty. We lost everything, but redid it and ended up being more than all right.
Well, okay, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I have a clip, if we want to show this clip.
Sure.
This clip was this was this the first one? Yeah, this is the first duet, and this is what got the captains kind of oh my gosh. And I think you remember the part where, I won't even say it, but you'll watch it in just a second. But for those of you in chat right now, we're just going to take a look at this real quick clip. It was the talk of chat today. This very famous thing that happened in Twitch. So here it goes. Okay, guys, here. I'll turn this up real quick.
When you sing to me, just to think you live inside of me, I had no idea how this could be. Now I'm crazy for your love. Can't believe I'm crazy for your love.
Turns as red as her shirt.
and the captains was just...
They're losing their minds. Oh my god.
Watch again.
When you sing to me,
that reaction that the captains gave and the chat gave was
of me.
worth
I
its weight
had
in gold.
no idea how this could be. Now I'm crazy for your love. Can't believe I'm crazy for your love.
Shadow Gamer is losing it right
said you sang to me, and you showed me where I want to be. And you sang to me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you sang.
I have to say that was absolute. Look at this, you guys. Okay, one more time. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep harping on this, but it was amazing because it was all calm. Everybody was like, okay, this is gonna, something epic is gonna happen. You just know because these two epic singers, epic performers on Twitch Sings, duet partners, you just know something epic is going to happen. And then what happens? Pay attention to the captains. I love their reactions.
I know.
When you sing to me, just to think you live inside of me. I had no idea how this could be. Now I'm crazy for your love. Can't believe I'm crazy for your love. The words you said you sang to me, and you showed me.
Look at
where
Felicity.
I want
She
to
is
be,
just
and you sang to me.
Red. She is as red as her shirt.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Now, whose idea was to now? Okay, first of all, it was for those of you in chat who haven't seen it. They were this idea of hosting it or putting up pictures. I'm assuming of your loves, right? Because you're singing singing about people you love or your objects of your desires, right? So
exactly.
And then so whose idea was it to do that? And then who found with Felicity?
Well, Holic said it in the contest. He said the idea was 100% mine, which it was. I thought of this idea of like how to convey a long list of started with women that you love, and then the comedy part of it is how the list how the pictures denigrate into absolute absurdity. So you lay down the foundation in the beginning. So it started with Holic showing a picture of his girlfriend. Then I showed a picture of Emily Ratajkowski. And then it was like, then it was Emma Watson as Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And then I held up Daenerys Targaryen. And then it's just, okay, so these are all beautiful, like powerful women, all this kind of thing. And they're so in love with them. And then it goes into just absolute absurdity. And so the sequence of the pictures that we held up was discussed quite a bit, and how we were going to lay it all down, and reordering them to the right order, so that the zings.
Oh my gosh!
And the frequency increases as well.
I think so from Felicity on, and then the comedy delivery, everything was just was so I was laughing, and my daughter had to come out and go like, "Are you okay?" It was so hilarious. I think what really did it for me, because the whole with Felicity was just perfect. But I think for me, because I'm of that era, is when you brought out Jinxie and
Velma,
and
yes.
Velma and oh my gosh, that from the whole Scooby-Doo animation. I thought for sure you were going to bring out maybe Shaggy or something, but
there was some discussion about that, but I felt like each note of joke needed only one note. So the joke of that one's that I brought up Daphne first, and then I'm like, nah, because that would be the go-to. That would be like the Ginger of Gilligan's Island. I brought up Daphne, and then I instantly say no and throw her aside, and then bring up Velma because that's the real crush kind of thing. So
my gosh,
that was a little joke inside of a joke there.
That was absolutely classic. I was so happy. I mean, just watching it from start to finish was just so fun. And oh my gosh. So yeah, for sure. I mean, clearly, it was almost as though I think I was having a conversation. I don't know with who, or maybe my daughter. I was like, "Oh my, clear winners, clearly, especially because I'm thinking, well, he's got a lot of film background and acting and whatnot. I'm sure that's got to play a part, right? That's got to have some part into how you formed this duet and how you were going to, bring these duets and these songs to fruition and to life. I figured that had to be part of that.
It definitely was, but Holic choosing the songs and being the chooser of the songs and deciding what we were going to do. I mean, he definitely valued my input, but I wanted him to choose the songs. So I wanted him to be most comfortable with songs. So that way, whatever we wanted to layer on top of it, performance-wise, was going to be easy. So that way, that was the idea I had, was like, let's choose songs that we're super comfortable with. And I didn't know She Sang to Me that well, but I felt confident that it was in my range, and I did the work. I plowed through it like 50 times, got it memorized, and then I was like, now I can just focus on the silly part.
I still can't believe this is your first time on Dare to Duet. Here I'm thinking, it's only 9 weeks as of today, and I'm thinking you had to have clearly been in it before, but to know that this was your first time, and then to be so polished in the way in which you delivered and performed was unbelievable. I mean, you were like, I mean, obviously you are a pro, but it was very professional, pro-like everything. So you did a wonderful job, and clear in my book, clear winners for sure.
I must thank Scoobies and Cray Cray for that, because we were sitting there watching. Oh, it was not last week, but the week before. We were sitting there and we were kind of just chatting to each other in Discord and stuff, and then it was like, do you want to sign up for it? Me and Scoobies and Cray Cray, none of us had signed up for it before. We were all like, I'll do it if you do it. No, I'll do it if you do it. So then we all decided one day, we're like, okay, all of us are going to get in and do it. And this was the week, not this past weekend, but the week before, because this past weekend, the captains mostly chose their contestants.
That's
right?
the one I was in, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one you were in, exactly. And so I watched that one. That was the first one I ever got to sit down and watch, because mostly I stream Sunday, so I'm streaming during the middle of it, the whole thing, usually. That's my big day to stream. So usually I miss it, and I got to watch it this past week. You were in it, and Scoobies, we had all submitted, and Scoobies got selected. Shannon XO messaged him. Somebody had dropped out, whoever she had originally had, and she messaged him. She's like, Scoobies, they're close, come in. And he got in with Joanna Arts, and with like a day and a half work, and they worked it through. And Scoobies is such a champ. And so Cray Cray and I were like, well, maybe we'll get in. Yeah, we called ourselves the Three Musketeers. We have our own little Discord group and everything. And we just love each other up so much. But anyway, two wonderful friends that I've just met in the last like 3 weeks. And Cray Cray a little longer, but Scoobies in the last couple of weeks. And oh my God, instant magnetism. But regardless, so it was like, okay, let's submit. And then we got the messages from Felicity. Cray Cray and I both did. Hey, we want to have you both in if you guys want to be considered for not this week, and because this is already filled, but for next weekend. Since you submitted this week and we didn't take much out of the pool of submissions, we want to consider you. We'd like to have you guys in. So Cray Cray and I were both like, yes.
Oh, that's nice. So, yeah. I mean, I think everybody's performances today were just off the chart. So, I mean, even with, Cray Cray was the one with the black and the white one, right?
Yes, the Mad World. Oh my God,
that was amazing. It was very cinematic. Everything about it.
In cinematography. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah,
it is super hard to match black backgrounds, and this is a cinematic nightmare. It's majorly hard to match black backgrounds, and how they got them to look like one fluid, seamless screen. That's a lesson in cinematography, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was genius. So is it Jaturna that we have to thank for that? I don't know whose genius decision that was, but I was listening to them. They were saying it was almost kind of by accident, and they decided, let's go for it. Let's go with it.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cinematographers would watch that and be like, yeah, I could take some lessons from that.
Very, very true. Spider Monkey says it was seamless. Yeah, I completely 100% agree with you on that. Well, and we were so happy to have been able to, I was very happy to be able to watch you. Now let me step back, because all this week, as we were going back and forth in Discord, we're saying, okay, here's the question, here's this, here's that, here's the photos, here's this, here's that, and then trying to be, I knew that it was going to be today. We remember it was going to be today, and then there was still a little bit of the little clause like, well, if I'm working on something and can't quite tell you what it is. I swear, I just like water off my body, and I'm just going about my business, and then all of a sudden this morning I'm going, wait, is he in Dare to Duet?
Yeah, that's why I
gotta be.
To give you the winky face, because you had just been in the week before. So it's like, it's something I can't talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about it. I swear, today I was walking around the house, and then I said, oh, I'm so excited for today. I can't wait to talk to Gloop. And I went, wait a minute. wait a minute. This is something I'm working on. That's got to be Dare to Do It. And
I even said to you, you know what I'm talking about.
I swear I didn't even know. It's so funny. And then when they revealed your name, I'm like, I knew it. It was so, as though I had like an epiphany of some sort, thinking, oh, it's happening.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's quite funny. But I'm so glad. Well, we there's so much about Gloop that we need to know and we want to kind of delve into, and he's so gracious, to for us to probe and get to know him a little bit better. So I've devised some questions, and I'd love to be able to just kind of go with it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? We talked a little bit about Dare to Duet, so let's talk a little bit more about your background, how you came out here maybe to California. You're from Missouri originally, and life as you know it before coming here, and then the boom. So what fill in our gaps here.
All right, long story longer. So yeah, I came from my parents, who are still together. They've celebrated. They'll celebrate 51 years this November. We had their 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a military guy, and him and my mom were still very much in love. And I have one brother who now lives in North Carolina and has two boys of his own. But we were a very tight family. Dad with a military background was very much about, hey, love is one thing, but if you have respect, honesty, and discipline, the love thing will fall right into place, kind of thing. So he kind of drilled that into us. And so discipline has always been inherent in me.
Mm-hmm.
Just that if I'm going to commit to something and attack something, then I go for it, full out.
Are these your parents right here, right?
Yeah. Yes. That's mom and dad right there. That is at the wrap party for Bird Box.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
They came out and spent the last couple of days of the shoot schedule with me, and I had dad working and cutting pipe and polishing stuff. And also, he loves it. He loves that stuff. And so yeah, this is last February. This is a year ago February. So yeah, 50 years they've been together. And so,
Wow.
long story short, dad was all about discipline. He was all about education. I roofed houses. He's a 37-year retired fireman for North Kansas City. My mom was also a working woman. She did programming and stuff for TWA initially. And then once TWA folded its wings, she moved to a medical facility, medical data facility, and did programming for them. So that it was two income, two working family, but mom still kept a spotless house, and they never missed, shows that I did or anything like that. Very supportive family, very supportive. My parents are my life.
Wow.
Yeah, they're amazing.
That's
They
awesome.
still, I've been out of the house for 24 years now, and they still call me every Friday.
Oh, how sweet.
It's your Friday night call. Even if it's 5 minutes, it's every Friday. They're amazing. But yeah, so they said go to college, and through my discipline in high school, I had a great ACT scores and a good GPA. So the University of Missouri paid for my schooling, and I went there, started as a med school. And it's like, hey, you should be a doctor because of your grades and your ACT scores and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I should be a doctor. That sounds good, what everybody else wants. And then I got there and I was like, what am I doing? Switched my major to theater instantly, because I'd been doing theater all through high school and stuff, but for some reason thought I should be a doctor. Switched my major to theater after the first semester, and then graduated with a theater degree, did many musicals, many plays, started my cover band, the Frank and Todd Show at Mizzou. That's where GloopDawg came from, was in college. And so that was a weird nickname that is a long story that's not interesting to tell at all, but it stuck. So everybody started calling me GloopDawg and Gloopy and all this kind of stuff in college. And this was in the dawn of the internet, right? And dawn of emails and all those kind of things. So GloopDawg at Hotmail, GloopDawg at Yahoo. Those were that's why there's no numbers after my name, because I've had them for 22, 25 years. And so GloopDawg has been around forever with the DAWG. It spawned off of Snoop Dogg and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then gaming started, an online gaming community started. And then it was GloopDawg. It was all my usernames for Nintendo or Xbox or whatever. PC, and so GloopDawg, 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 and that's all. It just stayed with me forever, and yeah, so that's how GloopDawg came about.
So
But
then, where did the Scooby part, the outfit, come
that is a happy
in?
accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was streaming Dota, which was a game that I played when I first got it. I've been streaming for about 3.5, 4 months total. I got into streaming through a long sequence of life events that I decided streaming was probably what I wanted to do. I wanted to start trying it.
Hmm.
I was trying Dota in the beginning, but for those of you who play Dota or League of Legends or any sort of MOBAs, you know how toxic the communities can be and how competitive people can be in them. And I was watching myself streaming these things going, this isn't me. This is not, I'm not having fun. And if I'm not having fun watching me, how the heck is anybody else having fun? So I started to just investigate into Twitch and started just looking around through all of the channels and all the things that were going on. And I found all these people doing live music. And Frank and I had been doing cover band stuff since college. So, and he moved out to LA a year after I did when he graduated to be like, yeah, let's do this stuff out in LA. We still play shows. In our 20s, we were doing 3, 4, 5 shows a week. But now he's got a wife and 2 kids. I grip now. So the shows are a little fewer and further between, but yeah, so he came out, and when I started this mortgage bank in a closet, it was right at the cusp of the mortgage boom of the early 2000s. And by the time I left the mortgage bank, it was 4 people in a closet when I started, and I was a temp from a temp agency. Because when I moved to LA, I had no money, and I was like, I got to start working right away. So I went into a temp agency and started doing that. So they put me with this mortgage bank, and the owner was like, you're not going anywhere. You're staying with me. He taught me the business. Long story short, I ended up moving over 40 people from Missouri out to Los Angeles because the company kept growing and growing. And he kept looking at me going, I want 10 more people just like you. And I was like, I know 10 more people like me. So I'd call people and I'd be like, hey, I can start you out at 35 grand a year, sight unseen, plus, plus commission, which can get into 6 figures easily. And people were like, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. So at 35, 40 people came out from Missouri, from the University of Missouri. And so I had all of my friends out here in Los Angeles. I moved them all out, gave them all jobs. And then we grew this mortgage bank. And right before the mortgage bubble burst, the big, huge 2005, 2006 bubble burst, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I left the company before the bubble burst due to internal reasons. I was like, what am I doing? I shouldn't be here. This isn't what I should be doing. So I was like, I want to play music. And so I left the bank, took all the money that I saved over those 5 years and spent the next like 4 to 5 years, like I said, playing 3, 4, 5 nights a week, playing music.
So we have this picture up right now of you in your Scooby outfit. And this is this, why don't you tell us a little bit about this picture?
This is where it came about. This is Halloween night in 2007, I believe. Halloween night, we decided it was me and Frank, the guy on the right, who's one of my, 3 best friends. He's a lifelong best friend. He's heart and soul. But anyway, it was him, me, a guy friend of ours, and 2 girlfriends of ours, who all decided, hey, we should try to do a group kind of costumey thing. What can we do, 5 of us? And somebody mentioned Scooby-Doo. I think it was Erin, one of the girls who ended up being Daphne, who Frank is now married to and has 2 kids with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were all like, they weren't married at the time, but I think they were dating, I'm pretty sure. She worked at the mortgage bank with us. That's how he met her. And we decided to be the Scooby-Doo gang. And we went online and got costumes, and they're like, you're definitely Scooby, and he's definitely Shaggy. And, Joel was Fred, and Brett was Velma, and Frank's wife, Erin, was Daphne. So we had a show that night. We're at a bar, Burbank Bar and Grill. We're playing that night. We're in the costumes. And no BS, Annie, after that night, the costume maybe came out 5, 6, 7 more times throughout the course of the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Took it to Burning Man the year I went. I took it to Coachella, like big, huge festivals where everyone's dressed up in crazy stuff. I'd wear it then. Or after parties at my house, I'd put it on and do double flips into the pool and stuff like that, and just make everybody laugh. But there it sat. So then as I'm investigating all these things in Twitch, trying to find out where my niche is, seeing these musicians, I find Twitch sings. I start lurking for a while. I'm just like, don't even know what I'm doing. And then I start going into people's channels and joining queues because I heard that's what you do, and I saw that's what people were doing. And I saw these people dressed in Pokemon and whatever, and Albarath the Penguin, and all these amazing singers who are not ashamed to dress up in something silly. And I looked over in my closet and I was like, I got a pretty funny costume. And the rest is just a snowball that I don't even want to stop.
And do you wear this every time you stream, right? Pretty much?
Not every time. No, I started doing what I call hairless or furless stream just because, I don't know, just switch it up. Or if I've done a 12-hour day and I come home and I know I'm not going to be on there for very long, I started to do them not with it. But I love wearing it. I love the characterization that it brings out in myself and the people that I'm engaging with in the chat. And when I don't wear it, they give me a bunch of guff like, who is this stranger?
I think I did that once where I rated you. Like, okay, so I rated you. This is already, the seed had already been planted. I knew that, Gloop had already agreed to be on my show. So I was like, okay, he won't be so mad if I rate him now. Because I knew you were in a party. So I was like, I'll rate him now. So I rated you. And then when I saw you without the outfit, I thought, oh, this is serious. I'm like, this is some serious stuff. What's happening?
No, I just went to the groomers that day and they shaved me too close.
And he was so gracious. Like I said, he was in a party. He was so gracious. He came out of the party as protocol goes, right? When you raid people, as protocol goes, he came and he sang a duet with me. And I thought that was so gracious of you. I was like, aw, you didn't have to, because I was actually just going to say bye and just leave. Here's my followers.
Cannot deny the tradition of the pudding on the sleeve, to quote South Park.
Serious. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm glad that we know the story, the backstory of how the Scooby outfit came about. Now, when you came here to California, you came here to do investment banking or mortgage banking. Sorry, rather.
No, that's not why I came.
Oh, okay.
When we were in college, when I was in college, it was me and a buddy of mine who graduated at the same time. We were like, he was one of my best buddies. He was like he was the Sky Masterson to my Nathan Detroit, to quote Guys and Dolls, which we did our senior year, and he was Sky Masterson. I was Nathan Detroit. But he was like, oh, we got to move. Where are we going? New York or LA? Where are we going? I was like, I could go either place. It doesn't matter to me. No BS, Annie. It came down to a coin flip.
No, you mean to tell me we won? We won California? No, just kidding.
California won because of a coin flip. Yes.
Oh, wow.
We flipped a coin. We were very, very intoxicated. We flipped a coin and it came up tails, and that was LA. And we just like, let's do LA. Let's do it. We want to do movies anyway.
Oh, very cool. Well, we're happy to have you here in Hollywood. So, hey, sorry guys, I have them here in Hollywood. So I'm 35 miles south of you. So I can say, and Gloop and I are planning a meetup stream at some point.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been 19 years. I've been out here 19 years.
Awesome.
I moved out here in September of 2000.
Now tell us a little bit more about Frank and Todd. So when you came out here, were you already doing the Frank and Todd show, or
Yeah.
Okay? So how did that come about? Was that formed in college as well?
Indeed, yeah.
Okay.
We had similar groups of friends, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we'd be at the same parties, So we had friends who were the same, and there would be a guitar around, and I had played guitar since high school and learned tons of cover songs and stuff like that. And he had done the same thing. I more had like the 60s and 70s thing going on, and he had like the Sublime, the current 90s stuff at the time going on. And we'd be at parties, and there'd be, people standing around or sitting around, and you'd see a guitar, and one of the two of us would pick it up, and then the other one would sit there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Scrutinizing.
Mind if I play that when you're done? Kind of thing. And then it was like, oh my God, maybe we should join forces. And we his parents owned a house on East Campus that housed 6 people, and there was a summer where they needed 2 extra people to move in, and I was just moving out of the dorms at that time, and I was like, I'll totally would love to. All like my 3 of of the 5 people remaining were very good friends of mine. Frank, not so much yet. Now a best friend of mine, but I moved in, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And like within the first day or two, it was like we were up in his room just hammering out song after song after song after song, and like the harmonies. And he's got the high, unlimited range voice and the sweet harmonies, and can play lead, and I've got the bass line, melodies, and can play rhythm. And it was just like it just fell instantly into place. And then it was like a skyrocket after that. We couldn't learn enough songs fast enough. Is that we were just sitting up in his room, just hammering out songs, and they came so quickly to both of us, and we knew where our parts was. It was like it was finishing each other's sentences, kind of thing. And then from then on, it was over with. So in college, we played probably 1 or 2 nights a week, depending on the week, or depending on if I was doing a musical or whatever at the time. And I made my rent money in 1 week,
Wow.
playing, so I didn't have to worry about rent anymore and food anymore and all that kind of stuff. We were playing bars at the University of Missouri, playing the bar gig. And then I moved out to LA, and he still had to finish up college. And he was sitting there deciding whether or not he should move out here to join me with his family. They were on a road trip somewhere outside of St. Louis, and they were sitting at a Taco Bell. And while he's sitting there talking to his sister, being like, "I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I should do." Counting Crows' "Long December" was playing on the Taco Bell, you know,
Muzak.
yeah, the music. And so right as they sat there, he's like, "I don't know what I should do." And he said there was a silence, and the line came across, "If you think you should go to California, I think you should." And he was like, "Oh my God, it's done. It is done." And he tells that story. I just got chills thinking about it. He tells that story,
Oh.
and he's like, "You talk about timing." And it was like, it was done. He was like, he called me from Taco Bell. He's like, "I'm coming out there. I'm coming out there. I just listened to Counting Crows, and they told me I got to come."
I got the sign from Counting Crows.
So within
Oh.
him coming out here, we took our CD, our live CD that we made in college, live at Willie's, which was this bar at the University of Missouri, and we investigated all the bars that were around us that had live music, and we went into the biggest, baddest one, and we gave them our CD. We had our guitars with us. We brought them in with us because I was like, "No, we're going in there with the guitars. We're gonna carry them in with us, even if they don't want to hear our CD." And they're
We're
like, "Leave it to a
taking.
manager." And the manager was there. We went in at like 10 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't busy. Manager was there. We're like, "We got this CD. We would love to play your show. We came here on Sunday night, and we think we could do a better job than them." And he's like, "I'd listen to your
Okay.
CD." And I was like, "We got these guitars. We'd gladly play a song for you right now if you want to." He's like, "Okay." He wasn't really sure how to handle it. And so we whipped out the guitars and played a song for him right there. And all the waiters and waitresses and bartenders came in, and they're like, "These are our guys right here." So he's like, "No, we're not going to have you on Sunday. We're going to move Friday to Sunday, and we're going to have you guys be on our Monday night. You're
Oh,
gonna be on Friday." We played there for 5.5 years
on Mondays?
on Friday
Oh, on
nights.
Friday nights. Oh my goodness. Wow, you bamboozled him, and then and then he was like,
We weren't going to
"Okay."
take no for an answer.
Sounds like it. Now, okay, speaking of which, Frank and Todd Show. Now, you currently on Spotify, you currently have your album titled "Take It Twice," correct?
Take it
Take It
twice. Yeah.
Twice, and you have one song on there right now titled "Holiday Road" with over 1.5 million plays. How
Yeah.
insane is that?
Another happy accident. Yeah.
Oh my
We,
goodness.
we did the album. We did it professionally. We had a guy record us, and then we sent it to New York to have it professionally mastered. We paid for the rights to all of it and all that kind of, to do all the songs. And then we were like, we're going to take this seriously. And then he put it on CD Baby and Spotify and all those kind of things. And some random person with an amazing playlist that a bunch of people hit decided to take Holiday Road, which is the theme track to National Lampoon's Vacation, if you're familiar, written
Right.
by Lindsey Buckingham. And he's like, "This is my jam." He put it on a playlist that got tons and tons of hits, and it blew up very quickly. Yeah, and all the rest of the songs maybe have like 1,000 or two, and that one's got like almost 1.5 million plays.
Wow. Well, actually, we have it on right now. So let's see if we can kind of cue it up and you guys can hear just a tiny snippet of it real quick, okay? Let's see. Hold on. It's Holiday. Here it is. Oh, and then my Spotify's not is the free kind. Sorry, you guys are gonna hear a commercial real quick. Sorry.
Annie's Talk Show brought to you by this commercial.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, how embarrassing. Okay, in 1 second, when the commercial stops. Here we go. Can you guys hear this?
Dude, Todd, we totally gotta put some hand claps in here.
You're a hand clap.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, I found out not long ago. It's a long way down to the holiday road. Holiday road.
You remember this jam, right?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase in the car eating the sandwich that the dog peed on. Oh my god. Christy Brinkley's driving up into the convertible and he's just slapping his face with the sandwich. Oh god, that fucking. No, sorry, that scene. That scene is.
No problem. We're okay.
Are we in C-17?
So our little bit of a snippet we could hear.
I do swear like a sailor.
Oh, that's okay. Please do. Make yourself at home. The plastic ruler went away. There'll be none of that today.
You're not gonna spray me with the water bottle.
Yeah, seriously. So now this rendition, so you put it up on Spotify, and then, like I said, I'm looking at all your plays right now. All these plays. There's like 1.6 million for Holiday Road. Land Down Under is at 87,000 plays so far. So if you guys check it out, it's called The Frank and Todd Show, and it's on Spotify. You can cue it up right now and listen to it. Don't listen to it now, though, because you're still listening to my show. Just kidding. Right. I'm just kidding. But to my surprise, GloopDawg actually sent me another clip. And I want to share this with all of you guys. This is a clip. I'm going to have him set it up real quick. It is a game show. So why don't you tell us, before we flip over to the screen, why don't you tell us a little bit about the game show?
Well, the 80s, growing up as a TV kid, I was a massive game show fan. In the 80s, there was a game show called Press Your Luck with Peter Tamarkin. I was a huge fan at the time, but little did I know, when I quit the mortgage bank and started doing the music thing, I had a lot of free time during the days. So I started looking at, hey, I've always wanted to be on the game show. So I got in with a game show casting director. I didn't get in with it, but I submitted for, originally it was Weakest Link. I submitted for Weakest Link, and in high school I was on the Nerd Bowl team, Scholar Bowl, if you will. So we did competitive trivia. So trivia has always been a love of mine. And competing, where you have to buzz in and beat the other team. Like, I don't know, for those of you who are as old as I am, Head of the Class was a TV show back in the day that was about an accelerated, like, academically gifted class, and they did the Scholar Bowl as well. And so it was very much like that. So we would travel around the world. We actually went to nationals my senior year. I had to leave my graduation shortly after graduating to get on a plane to go to Memphis, Tennessee to compete in nationals, where we took 14th in the nation, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We had a kid who was an absolute genius, who was a sophomore at that time, who ended up on Millionaire and all sorts of stuff. Mike Werman is his name, but he was a madman. He was hot on the button and knew everything. But we all had little, areas that we were the best at. Your biology, your whatever, and. So long story short, trivia was my gamut. That's what got me in with these people. They kept auditioning me for all these trivia shows. And then whammy, the all new Press Your Luck came on. And Jennifer, the casting director, called me and she was like, "You're going to be on it. We don't even need to see you anymore. You've tried out for enough times. You're going to be great." And so they brought me in. They filmed 8 episodes that day.
Oh, wow.
So there was just a sea of people, and all they do is feed you with sugar and caffeine all day. So that way, when you come on, you're all hyped up and just out of your mind, just zinging so hard. So you come on and you do the show, and it ended up being this.
That's what it is. Okay, you guys, we're going to watch this lovely experience. Whoops, sorry. Oh, hello, Annie. Hold on. Oh, so goodness.
Yeah, they revamped it. For a little backstory about Press Your Luck, there was a guy who figured out the algorithm of how the indicator bounced around the board and won like over $150,000 and kind of broke the bank for the producers. This is in the 80s too, so you imagine 150 grand in the 80s. It's going to break the bank. So they took the show off the air very shortly after that, and then brought it back on the Game Show Network as a resurgence. Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. Rules and the format were a little bit different, but the general scope of the show was about the same. And so I was like, what, Press Your Luck? I've seen hundreds of episodes of this market back in the day, back in the 80s. I watched when that guy figured out the algorithm and broke it and could anticipate where the big bucks were coming up. Big bucks plus the spin. And he kept doing it. It went through like 3 episodes, and finally they were like, you can't do it anymore. You won the maximum amount.
So, and then just to preface you guys as well, so when you look at some of these prizes that they were giving away, it's like nothing compared to like what they give away in game shows today. So remember, these are back in the 80s, right?
Well, this actually was in 2005.
2005? Wow. Okay. Wow. It seems so long ago.
The original one was in the 80s. This was the resurgence, but it was also on the Game Show Network. So it's not like on a major network where they're going to be able to give you a Chrysler LeBaron network. So their prizes were a little, stepped down.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We're going to play. Well, actually, if you guys pull up a seat because we're going to be here for a while. We're going to watch this.
About 20 minutes.
It's about 20 minutes. Here we go.
With big bucks and the whammies is back, bigger and better than ever. It's time to play Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. And now, please welcome our host,
Such a
Todd Mutant. Everybody, thank you, Gary Kroger, and hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck, where you can spin your
Todd
way to big
Mutant.
bucks and great prizes.
Yeah, it was.
Right now,
Show
let's
host.
meet
His
today's
name is
player.
also Todd Mutant. He's from St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, my name is Kim. I live in Los Angeles. I love to travel, and I want to win the big bucks to travel to paradise.
Yeah, big bucks, no whammies. That's the tagline. That's what everyone screams.
Come on, big bucks.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
They tell you some things to say. They tell you to get out there and get hyped.
Doctor program in the fall, so I need the money.
Yeah, I figured they did.
Players, let's get down to business here. Are you ready to press
And remember,
your
I'm all
luck?
full of sugar and caffeine here, too.
And he's got a whole head of hair, guys.
Yeah, look at the mop on that kid. That's a kid with dreams right there. That is a kid with dreams.
Board that you see behind me here. It has hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and prizes loaded on it, including this gym car. Now you'll need to land
Handler
on the gym
from Friends,
space in
that's what
round
he's-
1, and you'll need to land on the car space in round 3, and you will need to win the game in order to drive it out of here, okay? Make it worth your while, we promise. Now, each time you spin, you can add to your total by landing on a square containing a cash value or a prize. I'll show you how it works here.
I'll be honest,
Ready,
I've never
stop.
heard of this game
There
before
you go, an
until
electronic
today.
organizer. That would be worth $299 for you.
Yeah,
But
like I
want
said,
you
it was
to be
big in the
careful with
80s. It was
dreaded
on a
whammy
major.
up there.
It was on
If you
USA
land on the
Network in the
whammy,
80s.
He'll come out here and
And,
take all your cash, all your prizes, and he'll knock you out of the rest of the round. The strategy
The
of the first round
resurgence,
is to
they
take as
just
many spins as you dare to take
revitalized for the
without
Game
hitting
Show
the
Network
whammy.
only.
And you can freeze at any time if you're afraid of the whammy or you think you've already earned enough to win the round. Remember, the player that's
No
in the
whammy,
lead at
no
the end of this
whammy.
first round will
Mr.
have the
Limpet's
big
got it.
advantage
Big
in our
bucks, no
final
whammies, no
round.
whammies, no
And the
whammies.
player that's in the lead at the end of the game is our winner. And, by the way, the only one that gets to keep all the cash and prizes they've earned.
I felt for you, I'll
Those
tell
are
you,
the
the
rules.
whole time. I was like,
We did a
oh,
drawing
come on.
backstage to determine who would go first in this round. Kim, that's you.
There
You
was
have
a lot of pain. There
$1,000
was
to
a lot of
start.
pain.
Let's put the big board in motion for you. Good luck.
All right, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. Stop.
Stop in a marble chess set. Work.
So in this first round, you can just spin until you're done,
Todd,
right?
down to you.
Right.
$1,000 for you as well. Let's see what you can add to that. Come on,
The
big
original
bucks.
game
Let's go.
used to have
Let's
2
go.
rounds, like what you're going to see in the middle trivia round, and then the round after that. This new initial round is part of the changes.
And Sharon, $1,000 to begin
They also
with. Here
told
comes
us
your first spin.
about the guy who broke the game, and they said that they hired some kid from MIT to come in and write 3 algorithms on top of each other so that the randomness of the spin could not be predicted in a million years.
Really?
Make it even
Wow.
more dangerous for you. We come back to you, Kim, currently in third place, $1,200. Do you want to freeze there, or do you want to press your
I
luck?
want to press my luck. Okay, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks.
You can go until you either whammy out or you decide you want to freeze with whatever total you have in this first round.
Look at the prizes, guys. Scanner.
What's it going to be?
A
Freeze or press
scanner,
your luck?
guys. Not a 3-in-1, just the scanner.
Just the scanner.
2005.
Stop, and a security system worth $200. Keep you safe and sound there. $1,599 is your new total. And we
That's
come
a
to
lot
you,
of money.
Sharon. How about
The
it? Do you wanna
$200
freeze with
security system, I'm not trusting that.
Press your luck.
Press your luck.
Stop. Ooh, a whammy for Sharon.
I felt for her. I was like, oh, man.
They were both of those ladies were
That doesn't look
absolute
like it felt
sweethearts.
good. Sharon knocked you down to 0, took away your chauffeured limousine for the day, and it took you out of this
We
round.
went out
We're
for
sorry about
drinks
that, but you
afterwards.
will be
We had so
back
much
in
fun.
our
Oh, how
question round and
nice.
certainly the
There's a
third
bar
and final
across the
round. But
street
right
from the
now, we
studio.
put more whammies up there on the board. Here they come. Kim, back to you. $1,379. You're in second place. The gym
Poor
card is still
Sharon.
up there. Lots of money, lots of prizes. What would you like to do? Freeze
Right, Sugar?
Come on, big box. Come on, big box, big box, big box.
I have to tell you guys that when I was watching this earlier, I was like having anxiety for Todd. I was like, come on.
This is an anxiety-filled
Todd,
episode.
down to you. $1,599. What's it going to be?
You know I gotta go. You know I gotta go. Come on. No way.
I gotta go.
Stop. Stop. Oh, Todd, a whammy.
4 whammies and you don't get to play
You'll be
anymore. If
whistling
you
that
get 4
tune for a
whammies, you're
while
out of the
to come,
game
Todd.
for good.
All
by
right.
the way.
Well, Todd, of course, hit his
Right?
whammy. Sharon hit her whammy the last time down. More whammies are coming to the board now as we come
Nice
back
in
to
sync
you, Kim.
reference there.
You have
I hate duetting that song just
$1,754.
because of
If you
this
freeze here,
episode.
I'll tell you what happens. You
Oh,
go into the
man,
final
that
round.
must give you
In the lead, you will
memories,
have
like
the advantage. But
nightmares.
If $1,754 is not quite enough for you, you can press your luck. What would you like to do?
Oh, I think I'll freeze.
All right, you are frozen.
Oh, my gosh.
At the end of round one,
That wasn't
Todd
cheesy
Mutant
at all.
No, she's cute. She's doing the gimmicks. She's doing
Yeah.
The question round. Well, they will answer some questions, try to get some spins for our final round right after this.
So up next is the trivia round, and I was drilled for 4 years to, as soon as you pick up on certain points of trivia questions that you know the answer, you
Yes, I do.
slam that buzzer.
Yeah.
Fiji.
Watch this.
Fiji.
Yeah, most
How about
definitely.
that?
As soon as I win all the big bucks, I'm on the plane. I'm out of here.
You load us all up, and here we go.
Since I went all the big bucks.
We've got suntan oil in the back. I think we're ready.
All right.
Good luck to you. All
Okay.
right. Todd from Missouri.
That's right.
I'm Todd from Missouri as well.
No way.
It's like a family reunion around here.
I'm going to your house for Thanksgiving.
I won't be cooking, but we can all sit around with styrofoam plates. It'll be fun. But Todd, you're in the market for a new car here. Is the one you're driving not doing you too well?
Yeah. It's a 1980, so you know,
Time for
the
a new
passenger door doesn't work too well when you're trying to open it for the ladies.
I understand. Hey. And let's face it, Todd from Missouri equals ladies. That's right. All right. And speaking of ladies,
So
Sharon, you're
good.
starting
He's such a good host.
program pretty soon. Is that in the fall? What's the doctorate in?
It's education and nursing. So
Oh,
teach
fantastic.
the future nurses of America.
Are we anticipating some high student loans? Is that why we're here? I understand.
God, he got it
All right,
personal
well, there's
there.
lots of money to be won up there. Good luck to all 3 of you. It's great to have you here. Now we're going to give you a chance to earn some spins to take into the final round. Of course, the more spins you earn, the better chance you have of winning the game. And this is how the question round works. I'm going to ask a question. Then the first player to buzz in will answer that question. Their answer becomes one of 3 choices for the remaining 2
That's a
players.
guy who's focused
A correct
right there.
buzz-in answer
That's
will
a
get you
serious
3
guy.
spins. A correct multiple choice answer will get you 1 spin, okay? Good luck. Here comes your first question.
Right?
Now, if your plane just landed at Heathrow Airport, in what city have you just... Todd?
London.
Anchorage or Sydney? Kim?
London.
Sharon?
London.
It is indeed London, yes. There we go. Kim, a
Smart.
little travel question for you to get you ready. You got to spin. Todd,
I was a
you
little
get
slow
3
on
for
the
that
buzzer
one.
there, a little
And
slow.
Sharon, you get a spin as well. You're at 1. Here comes your next question. The medical term used to describe someone who compulsively steals, Sharon,
Obsessive compulsive.
is what? Is it obsessive compulsive, pyromaniac, or kleptomaniac? Kim?
I'll have to steal that answer and say kleptomaniac.
Todd?
Kleptomaniac.
Very clever, Kim. It is indeed kleptomaniac, yes. 1 spin for you, Kim. You go to 2.
I have no time for
Todd, you pick up a
nonsense.
spin.
This
You're
is
now
the
at
trivia
4,
part.
And Sharon hanging tight at 1. Here comes your next question. The famous Grant Wood painting of an elderly man and a... Todd?
American Gothic.
And woman holding a pitchfork is called what? Is it American Gothic, Whistler's
Grant Wood
mother,
has one
or
painting.
elderly man
It's
and
American
woman holding
Gothic.
a pitchfork?
Well, there you go.
Kim.
Gothic, American Gothic.
Sharon?
American Gothic.
It is indeed American Gothic, yes. Kim, you pick up a spin there. You are now
These are the
at
things
3.
they train
Todd,
you
get
to
3 spins for that.
identify
You're
in
7,
questions
and
in
Sharon's
Scholar
spin for you
Bowl.
puts you
Oh, wow.
at 2.
You don't listen
What
to all the words, you
long-running
listen to the
TV
keywords.
comedy featured regular characters named Gopher, Doc, Kim,
MASH?
and Julie McCoy? Was it MASH, The Love Boat, or the Beverly Hillbillies? Todd?
Love Boat.
Sharon?
Love Boat.
It was indeed Love Boat, yes. Kim, you stay at 3. Todd, you pick up a spin. You're now at 8. Sharon, you're
So
at 1.
focused.
You go
So
to
focused.
3.
Are. Look
All
at
right,
the
final question of the round
intensity.
here it is. The desire to consume more than what you need is which of, Todd?
Gluttony.
Which of the 7 deadly sins? Is it gluttony, sloth, or lust? Kim?
Gluttony.
Sharon?
Gluttony.
Yes, indeed, it is gluttony. Kim, you finish up this question round with 1 more spin. That gives you 4. Todd, 3 for you, puts you at 11.
Love Boat, right?
And Sharon, another spin
Yeah, I
for
don't
you.
have time for
You, too,
articles.
are
There's
at
no
4.
the.
When we come
It's
back,
just
I'll
Love
take those
Boat.
spins to the big board and, hey, try to turn them into big bucks right
This
after this.
next round, you guys, gets intense. Or at least for me, I was like intense watching it. I was like, oh my god, oh my god.
Ready digital camera with
For him, too,
cyber
yeah.
display and audio and video recording capabilities. Sleek styling with an innovative design for today's lifestyle.
Look at all these
American
prizes, you
tradition since
guys.
1936.
Look at that camera. That's
I
at
know.
least 500,000 pixels.
All right, welcome back. Here it is, the big final round of Whammy, the all-new Pressure
Oh, my
Luck
God.
Players. Look at that, over $100,000 in cash and prizes on that board. And like always, there are some whammies lurking up there, so be careful because if you hit one, they're going to grab all your cash, leave you flat broke. Todd, you've had a
Just
whammy.
be careful.
Sharon, you've had a whammy. If you hit 4 of them, you will be eliminated from the game, and that
Yeah,
is
be
what we
careful.
do not
I didn't
want.
listen.
Now, as if the whammies weren't enough for you, that big board now features double whammies. They not only take all your money, but they'll come out here and mess with you a little bit. Now, in this final round, there's a little more strategy because now you can pass your remaining spins to your opponent that's in the lead in hopes that they hit a whammy, and the leader must take all the spins that have been passed to
This
him.
gets
Remember,
intense,
only
guys.
the player that's in the lead at the end of this game gets to keep all
God,
the
look at how
cash,
gorgeous
all
my
the
hair
prizes
was.
they've earned. Okay.
It was.
Well,
I
Kim,
could, like,
you will
do
be
this.
going last in this round. You are in first place with $1,754. We go to the player with the least amount of money. Todd and Sharon are tied at 0. So then we go to the player with the least amount of spins. Sharon, that's you. You only have 1 whammy, 4 spins. Would you like to press your luck with your first one now? All right, let's go.
All right, big bucks.
Get it, Sharon. Get it.
Stop at $5,000.
I got happy for her. I was like, yeah.
She's in the lead. That is the square that the guy figured out. The big bucks and the spin.
Really?
Stop. Oh, a double whammy.
We never ran out of spins. It just kept getting thousands and thousands and thousands.
She looked legitimately mad. Was she upset?
Wow, that looks like a well-balanced
You
meal.
can't
at
be
least. A little
upset. You
fruit,
have to
some
just take it on the
poultry.
chin.
All
I'm
right,
sure
Sharon,
she
down
wasn't
to
very
0
upset.
You go.
Look at the
3
chicken.
spins.
The rubber
That's your
chicken.
second whammy. Do you want to press your luck with another spin?
Thank you.
Stop at an M&M World gift certificate worth $500 located in Las Vegas right there on the Strip M&M store. You gotta love that, Sharon.
Yeah,
back into the
I
game
do.
you go. You're now in second place. 2 spins
She got
remaining.
back
What you
in.
wanna
I was
do?
happy for her.
Going all the way. Big bucks, no whammies.
Stop. Oh, whammy.
Get
Hi,
fruited.
this is Whammy Faye Baker here, and I just want to thank you for all your
Sharon.
generous donations.
Sharon, your third whammy.
They used to do these
Now, here's
whammy
deal.
things
You
in the
have no
original
money,
one too,
you
but
do
they were
have one
animated
spin.
at the
If you
time,
hit
not
one more
CGI
whammy, the
style.
game
They were
is over for you.
hand-drawn
What would you like to
animations.
do?
Now, when she was eliminated, she had to stay there. She wasn't asked to leave. She just
Stop at $500.
endured the whole thing.
Okay, Sharon keeps you in the game. You're in second place. We come now to Todd, who has one
Yeah, because
whammy,
you don't really know
$0,
what's going to
but
happen. So
11
even with
spins.
$500,
Are you
she
ready
could
to take your
theoretically
first
still
one here,
take it
Todd?
all down.
Ah,
Let's go.
okay. Come on, Sharon, Mr. Limpet says.
Come on, new car. I need it. Stop.
Stop at $750, Todd. 10 spins remaining. Would you like like to take another?
Yes.
11
let's do it.
spins. That's
Come
a
on,
lot of
big
spins.
bucks. Come on. No
I'm in the market for a
way.
car, so every time I see cash, I'm going.
Yeah, your spins. I was like, man, he still has so much many more.
The money's gotta be around here somewhere.
No, it. Todd, what is that on your arm there? What is that
Okay, so
exactly,
here,
Todd?
I'm
to
from
tell you after
Missouri.
this.
I don't know.
See my thought process here?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Missouri, I do. Toss that over here. All right. Here we go, Todd. Down
Your
to 0. You still
face.
have 9 spins. That's your
Okay,
second
so they
whammy. Do you
said
wanna
don't
press
say
your luck?
anything dirty or sexual or anything, or we might not be able to air the episode, and whether you win or not, you won't be able to collect the prizes. So about 8 different ideas went through my head about what I was going to say with a bra on my arm, but I was like, no, just play dumb. Play dumb.
No whammies. No whammies. Stop.
Stop at $2,000 or lose a whammy. Which would you like?
I want the cash.
You've got the cash, and it puts you in first place with $3,200.
Why didn't I lose a whammy here?
Pass or
Why?
press your
I went
luck.
for the cash because I'm a greedy
Keep playing.
bastard.
Come on. No whammies. No whammies. No whammies. Stop.
Stop at $1,400. $4,600.
I was like, get it.
6 spins. What do you want to do now?
Keep going.
Keep going, he says.
No whammies. No whammies. Stop.
I didn't go to have my spins yet, Todd Mutant. What the hell?
Watch out now.
Jesus Christ.
Todd, you really know how to decorate the joint. You know what I mean? All right, that's your third whammy. Down to $0. You still
There's
have 5
feathers
spins.
falling
And
down.
when we come back from the
Where
short
was
break,
from?
Todd,
That
we'll
must have been
decide
from
what he wants to
this
do.
episode where they dumped a bunch of feathers on somebody.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, we're in the final round here.
All right, welcome back. Well, you'll notice that we've made quite the mess over here.
Got
with
3
all the
whammies
double
and a bunch
so
of
far.
spins.
Todd
You-
just
how
hit
do you
his
think this
third
is gonna
whammy,
end?
Knocked it back down to 0. But the good news, Todd, 5 spins to go. A lot can happen with that. It's still anybody's game. Would you like to press your luck and take
Yes, I
one?
would love to
Okay.
press my luck. Come on. I don't need any more whammies.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about it. Look at my face. I'm like, yeah, keep reminding me how many spins I got.
$750 and a spin time. All right, you still have 5 spins. One more whammy. This game
You
is
still
over
have
for you.
5
What do you wanna
spins.
do? You wanna
Normally
press your
people
luck
would
or
be
do you
so
wanna
stoked at
pass those
$750 and a spin. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. No, I hate that extra spin. I'm not happy about that at all.
No whammies. No whammies. Stop.
Stop at $3,000 and a spin time. $3,750. 5 spins.
Jesus
remaining.
Christ.
What do you want to do?
You can't. Why? More spins. No.
Press it on. No whammies. No whammies. Stop.
Stop at a dining room set. Todd, that's worth $1,298, and it brings you to a new total of $5,048. Leaves you with 4 spins. Do you want to pass them to Kim, or do you want to press your luck?
Press it
4
on.
spins.
At this time, I have a $40
Come on.
fold-out
no
table as my
whammies.
dining
Please,
table.
no
I'm like,
whammies.
not $2,000 for a dining set? Jesus.
Stop at $500. $5,548. 3 spins
Look at
remaining for Todd. What do you want to
his
do now?
earnings are
Pass or press your luck.
increasing. Look at his face.
I can pass these spins at any time. But what did I tell you? I'm a greedy bastard.
No whammies. No
I'm
whammies.
playing! I'm
Stop
playing!
at $1,000 or spin again. What do you want to do, Todd?
Cash.
You got the cash.
Mr. Limpet.
$6,548. Todd from Kansas City, Missouri, the decision
Cash.
of a lifetime. What do you want to do now? Do you want to pass those spins to Kim or press your
I have
luck again?
anxiety.
2 spins remaining.
Lunch right here.
If
Look
you
at me.
pass them to Kim,
I'm all
she
hunched
will have
over.
to take them. What's it going to be?
Passing them.
All right, Kim. Those 2 spins come to you as Todd takes himself.
Dying over
Gets
here,
rid of
you
all the
guys.
Yes,
pressure. Now
pass
it's all
them.
on
Jesus
you.
Christ,
You're
we
in
should've
second
passed like
place.
3 days ago.
$1,754. 2 spins you have to take. Here comes
I'm
the
yelling
first
at
one.
the younger me because he's an idiot.
Come on! Big bucks, big bucks, no whammy!
Stop at a baker's rack worth $1,900.
Baker's rack? What? What is that?
Brings you up to
What's a baker's rack?
$3,684. Here comes your last.
Bunch of spices and
pass in
stuff.
now.
Oh, okay.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy! Big bucks, big bucks, big bucks! Stop!
Stop at a digital camcorder worth $899.
Digital
All right,
camcorder.
Kim still in second place with $4,583.
You have to
now
qualify
have
it
4
with
spins to
digital
do
at
with
that
what you
time.
please.
It's
If you
not just
choose
a
to press your luck,
camcorder.
there's the big board. If you
Digital.
choose to
That's
pass them,
true.
Most
go
people are
right
gonna
back
try to
to
load
Todd.
film
What would
into
you
that
like to
thing.
do?
Todd, I think I'll pass my luck. All right, I need some big money, no whammy, stop!
Stop at Advance next
Do
two
I have to buy the
spaces to
JVC smaller films or?
$790. Kim, it brings you to $5,373. You are still $1,175.
God, he gets me hyper,
behind
that
Todd.
guy,
You
that
have
other
three
Todd.
spins.
I was
If you
like,
pass them,
God,
they go
stop
back to
yelling
Todd,
at me.
Or you can press your luck. What would you
He's
like
a
to do?
great host.
I
He was
see.
so cool. He was such a good dude. You could tell he was from Missouri. I was like, yes, Missourian right here.
Stop and a personal chef.
She got a personal chef. What the heck?
Now you're up to $5,973.
She was literally
Kim,
talking
two
about the
spins. Would you
personal
like to
chef
take
while
another,
we were
or would you
watching
like
other
to pass?
episodes. She's like, I really want that personal chef. I don't give a
how
shit.
cool.
When she's bouncing up and down, go, that's what I wanted. She's not lying.
Come to you, Todd. If you can manage to avoid the whammy, you will be our winner. These are two spins you have to take.
Look at your
Are you
face.
ready?
Too many.
Yeah, I'm
Let's bring the
losing
board in
my
motion.
lunch.
Here
She
it
passed the
comes.
spins to me.
Come on.
This
No
is not a
whammies.
happy guy.
Anything but whammies. No
Too many is
whammies,
right.
No whammies. Stop.
Stop it, a ceiling fan. Worth $560.
Ceiling fan. You got a ceiling fan,
Todd,
guys.
that brings you up to $7,108. You have to take one more spin. If you can avoid the whammy on this spin, you will be our winner. If not, if you hit a whammy, Kim, it's all
I want to
about
tell you at this point,
Here we go,
I had
Todd.
denied my Catholicism
Right now.
and chosen not to get confirmed. But watch this shit.
Big bucks.
Watch this guy
Big
start
bucks
praying
and
all of a
no
sudden.
whammies.
Yeah, I just did the sign of the cross. What the hell is that?
Come on, no whammies. No whammies. Stop.
Stop it. Move one space. Two. A double whammy, a champagne package, or $1,100. What do you want, Todd?
Cash.
You got it. $1,100 and you did it, Todd. $8,200.
Goddamn right, the cash. Give me that cash.
Todd from Kansas City, Missouri pulled it off. Here's Gary Kroger to tell you what you won, Todd.
Todd, you've won a
Isn't
ceiling
that funny,
fan.
you guys?
And Ashley's casual country style Asheville dining collection. All wood construction.
Look at that nice dining set, right?
Charm to any decor.
That's an Ashley dining set.
That's
Put that
very
together
nice.
With your $6,000.
Look at your hair. Oh my gosh.
In cash.
I
Your
love
grand
it.
Total is $8,208.
Thank you so much, Miss Kim. It was a pleasure meeting you. Sarah, great meeting you as well. Good luck in the
Wow,
concert program.
that was fun.
And you, sir, how about it?
You, sir.
We're just a couple of Todds from Missouri. Not a bad showing from this young man right here. You got some great stuff, folks. See you next time on Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was fun.
The game with
That was fun. Oh my goodness. Did you guys enjoy that? Wasn't that fun watching him? I was watching this earlier and I was asking Todd, I said, should we show like a little bit of it? He goes, no, let's just see the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. I thought it was really kind of fun because, you know, you got to kind of, I was like intensely in it. Well, I was sitting here watching it earlier and I literally was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was really, really fun to watch it and to be able
I've
to
seen
share
it
that.
no less than 20 times, and I still stress out watching it.
You
Just 'cause
do?
it's inherent in the game.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of risk that was on the table right there, I don't know. There's a couple funny stories that caveat that. First of all, just to tell you about my prizes, they were all cursed.
Oh
All of them.
no! Are you
I
serious?
installed the ceiling fan perfectly, and during an earthquake, it came out of the ceiling and was dangling by the cables while I was sleeping. So it could have just come down right on my bodily area. But no, it was dangling by the electrical cables, and that fried it during that earthquake. It fried the cables and all this stuff. So it was basically dysfunctional from that point on. I had to uninstall it. The Ashley dining set. By the way, you have to pay 40% taxes on everything that
Yes,
you earn. So
very
they take
true.
40% out of your cash, and then they take money out of your cash to pay for the prizes too. You can't take a cash option. You got to take the prizes. So
Right.
I ended up with about like $3,000
Oh,
out of the
man.
$6,000 that I won, which was fine. It's like free money, and I was butt nasty broke at the time. So I was like, yes, oh my god.
3,000.
So Ashley dining set, I ended up selling the hutch for like $500, but in the table and 3 of the 4 chairs we put outside at a house that I lived in previously, and they just got weather shot and absolutely ruined and rotted out and stuff. So yeah,
Wow.
stupid me, but I was in my 20s. This was during that music phase I was talking about previously. I was like, yeah, rock and roll, let's jump off of it, set it on fire or whatever,
Oh
And
my
then
goodness.
the cash, I told you I needed a new car. I was driving a 1980 Plymouth Volare at the time.
Wow.
Amazing car. Oh, I drove that thing till it died, but yeah, it literally died. And I bought a PT Cruiser with the cash, the down payment.
Boy.
2 years after having the Cruiser, I totaled it. I just hydroplaned on the highway in Los Angeles on the 101 and smashed it into the undercarriage of an overpass bridge. And yeah, so everything out of everything that I won, I have one of the chairs left. It's in the kitchen right now. I have one of the dining chairs. That's it. So, Philly, you had a Volare too? Oh my God, Philly had a Volare. I knew it. I knew it, Philly. I knew we were connected on many levels.
I had a PT Cruiser. Can you believe
You had a Cruiser?
Me,
See?
I can't believe me, little old me. I had a PT Cruiser. I was in that car, and for the life of me, when I would drive it, I would be like, I swear this doesn't fit me. It doesn't fit me.
Loved that car.
Did you? I mean, yeah, because I needed it, I had to have it. You know, it grew on me. But then, I was like, man, this is so not my car. This is like a man's car. They want to soup this car up, and I'm here like driving down, going, hi.
Yeah, you can Woody it out, but it's not necessarily a man's car, not at all. My aunt had bought a PT Cruiser too, but no, for me it was like the functionality of it. It was absolutely customizable. You could fold down the seats, do whatever you wanted to with it. It was totally cool. It fit in small parking spaces. I mean, I loved that car so much. I totally dug that car. We threw an after party and I jammed 5 kegs and a whole bunch of ice and a whole bunch of stuff in that. My suspension completely got rotted out because of it. But that's how much you could put into the PT Cruiser.
Yeah, it's very spacious. I mean, it had me. I mean, it fooled me because as soon as I started like piling stuff in, I'm like, wow, and I just kept pushing stuff in. I'm like, man, this is massive. I got all kinds of space.
Yeah, I was surfing at the time, so I put a 10-foot longboard in there. You could fit a 10-foot long there, put it up on the dashboard, and it wouldn't stick out the ass end. I mean, the car was amazing. I loved that ride.
Oh my goodness! It looks like the PT Cruiser is a hit with chat. There's a bunch of Vista Cruiser. Phileas mom has a PT Cruiser. You have one as well, right, Phileas? It sounds like
his mom did. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. I didn't have a Volare, but my first car was a Dodge Colt. So
yes, very similar.
Yeah.
We only made the Volare for like 4 years, I think, because it looked so much like the Chevy Nova. Chevy was like, you can't make this car anymore. And Plymouth General Motors was like, yeah, you're right. We totally stole it from you.
I had the old Nova, the Nova with the...
80 was the only years that they had the Volare.
Oh my goodness. What memories, right? I mean, thinking back
that car
to
was badass. I'm driving up the 405. I got a car full of all my friends. It's late at night. And my left rear tire blows, and it's steel. The whole thing is steel. It's sitting up on suspenders. It's cherry red mag wheels, but still it's an 80. But it's steel, right? And so the left rear wheel blows, and it's rear wheel drive, and so it just totally drags me. I'm in the right lane. Drags me right into the shoulder, and I go just grinding along the guardrail, right?
My God.
And as I'm hitting the brakes and sliding, it didn't like spin out. I just drifted over, and I was like, I couldn't, get a hold of it enough to, I didn't want to overcompensate either. But anyway, so it's just like down the guardrail. And so we come to a stop probably 50, 100 yards past it. And everybody okay? Yeah, everybody's okay. We're all fine. It was effortless. Nobody even really got jostled. We look back at the guardrail and it's all like pressed in. We look down the side of my car. It's got like a scratch on it. And I was like, this is the baddest car ever. This car just took that guardrail out. And it's got this little tiny scratch on it that I could easily do with like nail polish and get it out. I was like, this is the best car.
Oh my God.
I'm driving a tank. This thing is badass.
That's exactly
8 gallons to the mile. And I'm not just saying that because it's clever. I mean, that was a gas guzzler, and you can't have that in LA.
Oh my gosh, you were driving a tank. My power steering went out on it, and can you see me driving down the freeway? And I'm going,
oh my God, power steering is so
it was
that around.
Oh, and I was sore the very next day.
I know your shoulders. You're gonna be sore muscles you didn't even know you had when you don't have power steering.
Yeah, for real, man, it was a nightmare. But you power through. You do what you need to do.
Yeah, you just keep on keeping on, especially when apparently you drive a tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody got back in. We changed it. We put the spare on. Everybody got back in. We drove home and partied the rest of the night. It was great. Like everybody's like, "What about your car?" I was like, "What? That scratch? Care about it."
Oh my goodness. So
epic.
that sounds so what a wonderful life you've lived already. So I mean just the move from here to California and then being here, the game show. The game show happened here, right? Or was it
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, that was the second story that I wanted to tell about it. Not only the prizes being cursed, but as I walked out, I'd been here for about 4 or 5 years. It was 2005, if I remember correctly. And I walked out, and it shoots at CBS Radford, which is on Santa Monica and almost Highland Street. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is in the heart of Hollywood. It's one of the old studios that they used to shoot at before they built all the big studios in Studio City and Burbank and all the places where they shoot now. But all the old, like really tight area. So I walked out. I'm calling my parents on a Motorola cell phone. Yeah, what up? Yeah, that's just it was dating myself. It's 2005. Calling them on a Motorola cell phone, mono screen, monochrome. It's just black and white screen, you know.
Not flip?
No, it
Not
wasn't
yet.
flip. It was one
Okay.
piece. It was
One piece? Oh my God.
For the flip, that was so advanced at the time. I call my mom and dad, and I'm like, I won the game show. And they're like, what? You won the game show? I was like, yeah, I totally won the game show. And as I come around the corner, you're looking up Gower Street. And for those of you who've been to Los Angeles, Gower Street is the best street to take a look right at the Hollywood sign.
Mm-hmm.
I just like turn the corner and I'm like staring right at the Hollywood sign. And I'd never really seen it in that light before. And so I'm like, I made it, Mom and Dad. I'm going to buy a PT Cruiser. Woo-hoo! You know, whatever. I was like, this is my Hollywood moment. I just won a game show and staring at the Hollywood sign. I made it, Mom. Yeah, you said I couldn't, but I did. No, they'd never said I couldn't.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so hilarious. So speaking of Hollywood, tell us about your filmmaking career. Now, how did that happen? Was that segue into that? Because I at some point I know that you came out here for let's step back. So you came out here in 2007, and then how did you segue into filmmaking then?
I came out here in September of 2000. Then there was
2000,
5 years
sorry,
of mortgage banking. That was in the San Fernando Valley in Sherman Oaks. And then I spent a good 3 to 4 years just living off of what I saved during that insanity known as the mortgage boom bust of the early 2000s.
Oh my goodness.
And so yeah, if you watch The Big Short, my company was those guys in Florida where Steve Carell goes down there and goes, "What are you guys doing down here?" We're like, "We're selling loans, baby." That was it. We were a wholesale.
Oh my gosh.
It was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
I feel partially responsible for that, but we didn't know. We did not know. We were selling Lehman Brothers products, and anyway, all the big banks were like, "Sell these products," and we're like, "What? Yeah, we will." Anyway,
whole nother story, whole nother podcast.
So, we'd have to watch The Big Short for that. But anyway, so after that, it was like I took that money and spent 4 years just playing music and just doing game shows and stuff like that, and just trying to live the LA experience.
Right.
And then it came to the point. And during that music playing experience, I was playing at a bar called Burbank Bar and Grill where that picture was taken.
Right.
And
Speaking of which, I'm going to borrow through some photos. So let's let those play. So anytime you want to jump in, we can talk about those. Go ahead.
Yeah, while we were playing at Burbank Bar and Grill, I met this dude who was just a real cool dude. We were dating 2 girls who were best friends who worked at the bar at the same time. Also, his sisters worked there. So like it was very, close, tight group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the girls, that's me and my dad at the riverboats in Kansas City. Once the girls and we kind of broke up, with the relationships kind of ended at the same time. So me and John were like, dude, let's do this. Long story short, 5 years of just having fun and partying and becoming bros. And then it became time for me to like, okay, I've tried this music thing. It's doing okay, but it's not giving me the lifestyle I want to. It's time to start the next chapter. And I had that stagecraft degree. I was like, there's Frank on the right. There's his wife, Daphne, and that's Velma, Brett. She played Velma at the time. We've been friends for over, since the early 2000s and still are. This is a game night. Literally like 2 weeks ago, we have a game night that the 4 of us do very regularly.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yay.
we've all been four besties forever. It's
Aw.
these are my heart and souls right here as far as Los
Awesome.
Angeles is concerned.
Aw.
Brett also worked at the mortgage bank with us, and that's how we all met and became friends. So yeah, so it was time to start the next chapter of my life and start a new career and do something like that. I was working for 2K Games at the time, doing testing in their sporting games. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, this is also like $10 an hour. This isn't going to cut it.
Trying to see if there's other pictures here. There's some travel pictures that we're going to talk about in a little bit too, but I wanted
Sure.
to see what's some photos that are kind of relevant here. So sorry if they may be a little out of sequential order, but if you could just jump in
understood.
anytime.
That's coming home from Vegas just like a couple weeks ago. I did a job out in Vegas. I was back on a private jet. So I was like, yeah, private jet. Anyway, yeah, I was just saying, like, time to start the next chapter. And I had a stagecraft degree. I knew lighting. I knew how to use a tool belt because in college, we not only build the sets, make the costumes, all that kind of stuff, but then we would act on them as well. So I was like, yeah, stagecraft. This is for a pilot that's actually got picked up. I was shooting on a pilot that it's called the Unicorn. And for those of you who if you know the actor Walter Goggins, who was in The Shield, he was in Tarantino movies, he was in Sons of Anarchy. Anyway, he plays a lead character in this pilot that actually got picked up, and this is me behind the dolly as we're doing takes of this freezer shot.
Wow. Okay. All right, let's see if I can find some
Yeah,
more.
so John was like, yeah, come work for me if you can handle it, because we carry heavy stuff for rich people, and we wear tool belts, and we smash stuff, and we walk like 12 to 14 miles a day. And I was a wad of cookie dough at the time. And so I tried it out one day, and I hadn't felt more alive. And so I was like, yeah, I want this.
Awesome.
So he kind of handed me a career, and through that, I took advantage of it and put my all into it for a good 7 years, and just lived and died for the career. And just wherever they wanted to send me, I could go. I didn't have wife, kids, anything like that. So yeah, you want to send me here? You want to send me there? Yeah, I'll go wherever you want to. I'll live out of a suitcase. It's all good. This is on Soldado, which is the sequel to Sicario, out in the New Mexico desert.
Wow, very nice. And then here's a few more, just kind of powering through some of these on our set life
winter
icon.
in the desert, which is very cold.
What?
So I decided I wanted to see how long I could grow my beard. I let it grow for a year.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I did part of Jurassic World 2 in Hawaii, and oh my god, a long beard in Hawaii just does not work. I had to take it all off. It was a nightmare.
Very
Anyway,
true.
this is in Malibu. I'm working on some commercial, I think. We're in Malibu just shooting on the beach, so it's always nice when you have beach days.
Wow. Okay. I interrupted you. Go ahead. So we're gonna show some travel pictures in just a little bit as well. So then your career here, what's one of your most memorable moments on set? Can you share something like with that?
There's a lot of epic ones. I think, in the beginning of your career, when you're just wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and just experiencing all these things, I got to go out to Hawaii for Pirates 4, which was my first really big, road show picture. I was still low man on the totem pole, total grunt, but I got to go out there, which was pretty epic. And Keith was in that movie. And through that, which was a pretty epic experience, but through that, right after we finished that, Keith Richards came back and Johnny Depp, and they rented out the American Theater, or the LA Theater in downtown Los Angeles, this old theater that still looks old and cool, like the way theaters used to look back in the day. When you see Al Capone go into the theater, you're like, this is where he went and stuff. So they rented that theater out for a couple weeks, and Johnny Depp interviewed Keith Richards for 2 weeks and just got his entire life story. And my boss knew I was a musician, knew I loved the Stones. He knew I was into it. So he made a spot for me inside the room, where usually, you're not going to have a bunch of grunts in there. It's going to be all experienced people, and everybody with 10 plus years is who you want in there. You don't want some young chump in there. But he made up a job for me so I can sit in there and listen to Keith Richards tell his life story over the course of 2 weeks. And that was mind blowing for me. So that was like that was the introduction to the career. Like, this is where this is going to go.
This is
where
where. Wow, that's awesome. So for yes, you guys in chat. Sorry, real quick. For you guys in chat, we are going to have a Q&A shortly after. So if you have some questions that you'd like to ask Todd Gloop, just like if you were to join a queue, you can do !point join, and then you can ask your question there. We'll collect that and retrieve it from you guys very, very shortly. Sorry. And then, so now, as a grip, tell us what a grip is for those of us who don't know.
Grips is camera and lighting support. We have a two-faceted job. There are lighting grips, and then there are dolly grips. And then you'll also see key grip. You used to see best boy or best girl grip, but these days it's called second company grip in the day of political correctness. So two-faceted job. There's lighting control. So the electricians or the lighting technicians will set up lights, and it's a grip's job to control them. So we reflect them, we bounce them, we diffuse them, we colorize them, all these different kind of things, and we rig them up to the ceiling or put them on stands, whatever. And so it's all about light, everything from a candle to the sun.
Wow.
So we block out the sun, or we shade out the sun, everything in between. So lighting control, making sure that light is only falling where it's supposed to be falling with the intensity that it's supposed to be falling upon.
Wow.
So
Very
that's
nice.
one part of it. And then the second part of it is the camera support aspect of it. So if you think of the camera person being the right thumbstick in a first-person shooter, so they're the head, they do the panning, the tilting, the zooming, the focusing. That's what the camera operator does. The grip is the left thumbstick. So we're the legs of the camera. We push them around on dollies.
Wow.
We level them out on track. We swing them around on cranes. We make sure that if they're going to ride on the side of a motorcycle, that they don't fall off, that they're tethered in and safetied in and all that kind of stuff. So we rig up contraptions, and we use a lot of steel, wood, and aluminum to make sure that people are safe and nothing's going to fall on them, and we can control all the light and have the camera operators make the camera go like this, pew, 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 or whatever they say that they wanted to do. I want the camera to go wow, 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 and they go pew, and then you're like, yeah, we can make that happen.
Oh my goodness. So now part of being a filmmaker and, being a part of a set is that you get to travel where you get to go on location with them pretty much.
Frequently you do.
Frequently.
Not all the time.
Right.
Sometimes they only take department heads and hire local help, but oftentimes you do get to go around the world.
But because you do like to travel, so what are some of the favorite places that you like to travel to? So we'll start looking at some travel photos here.
Travel for work or travel for fun? Because
For
they're
both.
two absolutely different
Yes, they
spectrums.
truly are. You mentioned to me in offline that you try to make it a point to visit some place new every year. So I think some of
been a
the
life goal, yeah.
okay. So I think some of the photos that you sent me are probably just more for leisure than they are for work. So let's see if we can see some.
I'm
of those.
certain of it, because I'm not a very good historian at work. A lot of times it's because they don't like to see that. They don't want to see a bunch of people running around with cameras. You sign non-disclosure agreements.
That's true.
That you're not going to take pictures and stuff. So I'm not going to try to rock the boat and just whip out my camera every time something cool happens. But
Sure.
occasionally I do. This is last March. I spent a month hired a car and just drove around Italy. Started in Rome and then just went all over Italy. And it's everything that you think it's going to be and more. The food is freaking phenomenal. The people are amazing. The history is unreal.
I think this is one of my favorite photos here. This is when I was like, wait, is that really what I think it is?
Yeah.
It's the Colosseum.
Yeah,
Wow.
I went in March too, so everything was like 60% off. Like, if you're going to go to Italy, go in like March, because everyone's just starting to open up for the tourism season, but you're just early that everything was literally 40 to 60% off. It was
Wow.
so affordable to do.
Amazing. Let's see. And then what's this photo? I've been meaning to ask you this, and every time in Discord I always forget to ask you, but what's this one? This is
After Italy, I had a high school friend that his whole family had moved to Kiev to teach English at an English school. And I talked to him over Christmas, and I was like, because he comes home for Christmas, and I was like, dude, I'm coming out there. I'm going to come visit you guys. And he's like, no, you're not. I was like, no, I'm going to Italy for like 3-4 weeks. And if I don't have another project coming up, I'm bouncing to Kiev and coming to see you guys. And he's like, all right, you'll be the first person to come visit us. That's not family. And I'm like, it's on. So after Rome, after Italy and all that stuff, I bounced to Kiev for a week and a half. And that's why it's March. It's late March. So there's still snow on the ground. But we got you can do whatever you want to in the Ukraine.
No.
I mean, it's a very free. We think we have freedom here. No, this is a free country. And those of you who haven't seen the Netflix documentary Winter on Fire, please watch it. It tells you about how Ukraine got its independence and aligned itself with the European Union literally like 3 years before this. But anyway, so we went there, and so there are urban explorers that you can hire, because the way that Kiev's infrastructure is, unlike us in the United States, they have a walking line of tunnels where it was built in case there was nuclear issues or whatever, that are connected to an infrastructure of hundreds of bunkers. Underneath that, they have the water system on a second line of tunnels, and underneath that they have the sewer system.
Oh wow.
There's not connected like most of our infrastructures in our major cities are, where our sewers and our water lines can run contiguously.
Right.
They have a 3-tiered structure system. And so there are all these urban explorers who will take you into the first tier through through over 300 entrances all around Kiev, and just walk you through the infrastructure of the tunnels. It's absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. We had a blast.
Wow. This
is us coming out of it.
Wow. And then what's this one here? You'll see this in a minute. Now, I'm curious to know if this is for work or for pleasure.
That is for work. That is, if for those of you who watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there is a scene that takes place at the Playboy Mansion, and this is the Playboy Mansion.
Wow.
We're scouting it out during this shot so we can decide where we can put lights and where we can build structures and that kind of stuff. Because this is long after Hugh has sold it. It is now a historical monument in Los Angeles, so you can't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be very, very careful about what you do here now.
Right. And then we got this here. Not sure what I'm reading there. It says, is that Pete Dunne?
Yeah, you mentioned, in my bio, you mentioned that I like wrestling. So this is me and a grip buddy of mine, Todd, and 2 Todds and his wife, and we went to a wrestling event, and we got really good seats. We're right behind the announcer's table, and it was so much fun.
Wow, how fun!
Yeah, we had a good time.
A few more here. I feel like we're just powering through a bunch of photos, and if you like I said, you guys, if you have any questions, please type that into the chat, ! Join and your question. And then this one, I couldn't make this out, but I wanted to kind of get your take on what this is.
Yeah, over my head you see the arm of what is called a telescoping boom lift, or colloquially we call them condors. But this is like a cherry picker basket, and you can rig lights to them and all sort of kind of things. So that's what's over my head. But behind me, the big scope of it, there's a lot of night shooting that goes on in Hollywood. So like you could be working at 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and by the time Friday rolls around, you're pulling what is called a Fraturday, i.e. half Friday, half Saturday. You're starting at 5 p.m. and getting off at sunrise. So you can capture exterior shots, outside shots that are literally at night. If it's an interior shot, you can do things like tinting in the windows or blacking them out and make it look like night. But when you have to be outside at night, you have to shoot it at night.
And then what set was this for?
It's a big carnival in the background. This is for a TV show called American Housewife.
Oh, okay. Nice. And I love this picture. I think it's like, it just puts it in perspective. It's cute.
Yeah, that's in Italy.
Yeah.
At Pisa. By the way, when you go to Pisa, there's like the church and the tower, and then you're out of there.
That's it, huh?
All there is there.
That's all she wrote, right? No.
But yeah, 20 minutes later, and you're in another wonderful city.
Yeah. And skiing, it looks like?
Yeah, New Mexico. This is during the shoot of Sicario, Soldado, the sequel to Sicario. That's one of my grip brothers. We went skiing.
Nice. And I like this one a lot, too.
It's Santa Fe, New Mexico. Yeah, we went from Albuquerque, where we shot most of it, but an hour away is Santa Fe, and that's where you can do your skiing.
Very cool.
Yeah, Venice.
Love that. I love that shot. so much. I'm like, wow, that is just
It's
so
a very
pretty.
that was a crowded bridge, a very popular shot. It was gorgeous both ways.
And these are those actual canals or what are those?
Oh yeah,
uh-huh.
they're actual canals. There's canals running through the whole city. The
Wow.
water level is rising. They're pretty sure that within the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to start flooding basement levels of these buildings. Some of them are already infrastructures are cracking, and it is flooding them already.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the water levels are rising, and it's intense out there. And not only are the water levels rising, but then the buildings are so heavy that they're sinking as
Oh
well. So
my
it's a
goodness.
2-in-1. This is just
Wow.
it's Tuscany, big Tuscan Valley. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Cool. Oh my gosh. So I don't know about you guys, but I sat here when I was looking through these pictures. He was sending me some and he was like, do you want more? And I'm like, yeah, send me more. But I was like living vicariously through his eyes or through him because I'm like, I've never been to any of these, countries and beautiful locations and whatnot. So you live a privileged life. I love it though. It's like, traveling is something I've always wanted to do and I'm hoping to do. So maybe one day. But so now what's next for you, Todd? What's next for you? Where would you say in 5 years from now? Where do you think what direction do you think life is going to take you down?
Wow.
Is that a loaded question? Sorry.
No, it's not, but it's just like if you had asked me 5 months ago if I would be here talking to you, I wouldn't think that this would happen. The streaming has been a life changer for me in diving into my career for as long as I did and as intensely as I did, just back-to-back movies, minimal breaks, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say I burnt myself out, but I didn't leave enough room in my life for the things that I thought that I found kept me vibrant, and vigorous. And in that, I kind of sank into, as most of us do, a bit of a depression, as some of us do. And so I didn't realize what was missing in my life. So no BS, like finding Twitch and finding Twitch Sings, finding this community has gave my recent life, my current life, a 180, and it's made me reprioritize what's important to me, what's important, in physical and mental health. And in leaving the job for a bit of time this year, I lost 45 pounds. I mentally healthier. I feel so much more. I feel back to the person I was in those early pictures, that guy on that game show, that kid who, I feel like that person again. And that person was gone for a good 6-7 years while I just dove hardcore into the career.
Right.
Didn't have any room for relationships, as I was always on the road. There was living out of a suitcase. Didn't have any room for, a special lady, things like that. There was a lot of life on the road, as exciting, as adventurous as it can also be kind of lonely.
Yeah.
So there was a period of like what's gone in my life, and I realized that it was music. I wasn't even playing tunes in my car. The radio was off. So finding Twitch and finding Twitch Sings has been a game changer. So where am I going to be in 5 years? I'm not sure, but I'm open to suggestion, and I'm open to see where the winds of change will blow me, because my sails are full now. They were taken down for a while there, but I feel so vibrant about all these amazing people. Curly Doobie, so special to me. Spider Monkey. I'm not even going to name names because there's so many wonderful people here in the chat who do nothing but show love. Philly, who do nothing but make me want to come home to them and spend time with them on a daily basis. So where am I going to be in 5 years? I have no idea, but my eyes are wide open and I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever
That's
curveballs they
lovely.
want to throw me.
I agree with you, though. Somebody said it. Oh, this is so beautiful. Somebody said it earlier today on Dare to Duet. What did they say? They said something like it's very addictive. Twitch Sings is addictive. And to add to that, I 100% agree with you that it's formed some very very special relationships. I mean, same. I love coming into chat. I mean, a month to 2 months ago, seriously, I would sit in chat, and how many times have we heard this? I've sat in chat, and my only other audience member was my Nightbot, right? Or my mod,
Right.
literally, right? And now I could go in. I mean, and you know, the mod just sends those stream messages out saying, "Oh, Annie's going live," and then now within minutes, my room fills up with just, you know, your regulars, right? Your local, your
Love that
loyals.
love you. It's so symbiotic. It's not even funny.
It's so amazing, and even people here in this chat, you know who you are. You know, we just it's just this camaraderie, and you're absolutely. I 100% agree with you. A month or so, or 2 months ago, 3 months ago, down. I mean, I did a lot of musical theater, same as you. I did a lot of musical theater, and I took a hiatus like 2 years ago, and they keep asking, "Are you gonna come back?" I'm like, "No, not really." But then I come back, and it's like you said, I literally, I could be sitting here working all day long because I work from home, and I am so tempted to open this up, right? To go see who's streaming, to see who's, just so I can at least just go in their stream and support them and see what they're talking about. But my
I just want to
you know,
go say hi real quick.
yeah, seriously. It's like, that's how I feel. And then there's been times where like, I can't. I have to, let me just get through work. And then sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I have 5 minutes before I have to get off. I'm gonna get off now. And then I go to hop on. So it's amazing that how this game, this platform, this whatever has brought us all together. I mean, I would never have met you, you know? So, I mean, it's just amazing.
I was literally going to say, Annie, a perfect example, great example. In the past couple of weeks, how, you know, you run an amazing ship here. Don't get me wrong. But because of that, you intimately get to know so many people. That has to be so wonderful.
Oh, I love it. I thrive on that. I mean, even some the folks are here in chat, Sugaroth and Phileas, you know, previous episodes, I feel very, very connected to them, and you know, it's formed a really, really good friendship, and now I have you. So yay! So yeah.
You know, gaming, GloopDawg, and all that kind of stuff. I've been a part of online gaming communities since their inception, and from Call of Duty to CS:GO to way too much time in World of Warcraft to more current games.
Right.
The communities have a variable degree of toxicity in the game.
Totally, yeah.
That is non-existent here, and when it rears its head, it is excised so quickly. There's no room for that in this community. This community is about music, which if you told me music was the force that tied humanity to like a collective unconscious, I'd be like, you're absolutely right. That's why every culture from the tribes in Amazon to throughout history has had music. If you told me that this was a binding force of the universe, I would 100% believe it. So like, we're sharing this thing called music. We're hitting the endorphins, the all the little love, you know.
Yeah.
It's there's no room for that here,
right.
And it's amazing. It's mind blowing.
Absolutely.
The degree of love and positivity that this community shares amongst each other is unreal.
I agree. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Yes, I feel the same. Let's get to the questions. Weasel Games asked.
My weasel.
Oh my goodness.
Can I please with the weasel here real quick?
Yes.
Oh, God. Weasel Games. Not only is he like my brother from I didn't even know I had, but he's so brilliant, and he totally rebranded me.
Oh.
He was like, this is unacceptable. No, I have all these wonderful things, and he's like, no.
No.
Sit down. Shh. He's like, shh. I gotta do this. I can't allow this. Weasel, you know how much I love you. Oh my God. Anyway, I just wanted to say that Weasel is, I'm going to say 90% of the reason for the positive feedback that I've received from this community. He got me skyrocketed at a certain point, and I am forever indebted to you, Weasel.
Oh my goodness. I met Weasel in one, I think it was one of your streams. I think it was, he was in your, or you're singing a duet with him, and then you guys go follow him, and I went to follow him, and I actually stayed in his page for like,
out of that.
Yeah, I stayed in his page.
A beautiful hole to be trapped in.
I was there for like a day, and I'm going, oh my God. And then he comes in my stream. Was it last night, Weasel? You came in my stream last night, and we were singing The Lonely Goat Herd. Oh my God, that was so fun. I was like this. I was like, no.
God, everything he touches is so
It's
cool.
amazing. I told him he needs to get into
He had a
puppetry.
work project like last week or like a week and a half ago, and he was gone for like 5 days. It was like an eternity. I was like, where are you?
That's so funny. But oh my goodness. Okay, so his question, I think I skipped one. If Natsu's still here, then I'll come back to Natsu. But Weasel Games is asking, have you ever appeared in any of the movies? Any famous ones?
Yeah. And I did. I was in Spider-Man Homecoming for literally 0.2 seconds. Do not blink.
You made a cameo? Oh.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of it. But it's like 4 minutes and 20 some odd seconds into it. I have it's not even a cameo. Like, I'm behind the guy who they really wanted to capture on film. But it was the director, John Watts, was like, we were shooting in the warehouse. We're doing the warehouse scene where Vulture flies into his weapons making warehouse for the first time after we flash forward to the future. And all of his thugs are responding to the boss coming in through this chute, like big noise is made, and everybody turns and looks because the boss is here, right? And so while we're all, this is a big montage of all the weapons being made and tested on and figured out, and I'm just a guy in the background pushing around boxes and shit. But when the boss comes in, everybody looks up, and you see me look over my shoulder, and you get to see, you know it's the GloopDawg. If you squint your eyes and don't blink, you'll know it's the GloopDawg.
Oh my gosh. That's a great question.
Yeah, the director was like, we didn't hire enough thugs for the background. He's like, bring me all the best boys and all the grips and all the construction guys. He's like, let's put them in costumes. Let's get them in this movie.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Is Natsu still here? I don't have your question, but you're in the queue, and Phileas. So if Natsu is here and Phileas, if you guys want to type in your questions, please do. I don't see your questions in here. So I know Phileas is still here. So if you could type your questions down below in the chat so we can get that answered for you, that would be lovely. Okay. Now that you are a big time Twitch Sing streamer, are you going to be following Ninja to Mixer for millions of dollars?
Very topical question, Philly Cheesesteak. Very current events question, Philly Cheesesteak. So my boss, like I said, who got me into streaming and who got me into and fully supports what's going on here. He's also my best friend. Like I said, John. We were running around together for quite a long time before he was like, "Yeah, you want to come do what I do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." And then now he's like, "You're my best boy," and he's the guy I did Spiderman with. Anyway, he's a third generation grip. You know, he's a badass. You know, it's in his family. He's phenomenal. Anyway, so long story short, he forwards me that Ninja promo video where he's doing the press conference and he's moving to Mixer. He's like, "What do you think about this?" And I was like, he's like, "You better lock up GloopDawg and Mixer right now." And I'm like, "I'm not going to Mixer." He's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "What? I'll see what happens when they develop Mixer Sings, but until then, I'm not going." Let's see what happens when Mixer Sings comes out. But until then, I don't know. I'm not going anywhere.
That's a good question. I love that. Is Natsu here? Did he leave? Any other questions, guys? We're gonna wrap it up here. But if you haven't already followed him, can we get a quick shout out for GloopDawg, please? Can I get one of my mods to shout him out, please? And then if you'd love to, Natsu is lurking. Okay, well, can somebody go nudge him, please? Couple more seconds. No, it's just kidding. We have let's see here. I'll just show this quick. I'm going to show the your website.
Oh my God! Viz, always coming through in the clutch, Viz.
What was there? Was there a question? Oh!
Such a champ. No, he gave you the shout out. He did the shout out. Viz.
Thank you, Evie. Thank you so much. Okay, so here I'm going to show this real quick. This is your website. If you frankandtoddshow.com. You'll find the history behind the Frank and Todd Show. There's some.
How old that website is?
I was looking at this. I was like,
Well, he does. He does it all on Facebook now.
Oh, okay.
In Italy, I decided to abandon Facebook, so I've been off of Facebook for over a year and a half now. It was
how funny!
But it was when the whole Cambridge Analytica thing was going down. I'm in Italy, and I'm about to go to the Ukraine, where it's all free, and they just won their independence, and I'm just like, I don't need this. I don't need it anymore. I'm getting rid of it all. So I was like, I'm kidding. I'm off of Facebook, and I haven't turned back.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then if you, like I said, if you haven't started following GloopDawg, please do. He's amazing. You won't be disappointed. Like he said, he and Weasel are, two peas in a pod, and they're fabulous. Go follow Weasel Games as well. I am so glad that I am following Weasel Games. I'm so glad you were in my stream last night, by the way.
There was a quick Alejandro's question.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look. Can we go back up and look? Somebody?
Yeah. He says, what would you say to someone who is shy about singing yet enjoys it?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would say, Alejandros, that this is the right community to take those kind of risks. This is a community that will embrace you. They will love you. Start with an avatar. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to do a million songs. Start with an avatar. Find an avatar that you think is fun and funny. Sing a song with that. Let that be your smooth introduction to a camera. Because instantly you're going to find nothing but positive feedback from what you're doing.
I 100% agree.
For it.
Mm-hmm. I have a few people that are, my regulars, and we go in each other's streams and whatnot. But same. Oh my goodness! Thank you, Weasel Games. Oh my gosh! Thank you for those biddies. Oh, you're so sweet. We who are the same, where they don't have a face cam, they don't have a webcam, but they have an avatar. But they do it purely because of the love of the music and the camaraderie when we come in here, and
100%.
It's so. Isn't it exciting? Here's what I do. If I know, like, I lay down a seed, or if I open up a seed and I know that, certain people would love to maybe, complete the seed, I'll message them in Discord, or I'll whisper them, send them a little message, and they jump on it. They go, oh yeah, I'll go do it. It's so exciting to be able to, and then people do it for me. I did it. I just I just opened up a duet on so-and-so song. Why don't you go complete it? It's just a lot of that, and I love it. It's so addicting. It's so and if anything, you're there to support each other, and this is what I love about the community. It sounds so cliche, and I hate to be cliche, but it sounds very cliche, but it is very supportive. This community is very, very supportive.
Pieces of each other too. It's like, hey, I got this little piece. I'm gonna give it to you. You give me a little piece of you, and that's what completing a duet is. You're trading little bits of each other with each other, and it's so intimate, and it's so positive feedback loopy.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Word.
Did we have any other questions? Did Natsu come back? I still gotta sing with Frank. Oh, I have. You know what? Can somebody shout out Frank? Because I don't think I'm following him.
He only has a Mac.
No,
so
bummer.
Okay. One night, and he laid down one seed, and we did a little live show here on the stream, and it's gonna happen again very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider's talking about his one seed.
Oh my goodness. And then Gloop and I are, sometime in this near future, hopefully we'll get together, and I'd like to do a guest spot or just hang out with you. I don't even want to sing. I just want to hang out and just.
No, if you can come to the doghouse, we're doing it. It's all set up. It's all set up and ready for you. So I told her, I said every Sunday is a guaranteed stream, and it's an open invitation. You tell me when you want to come, and there will be an Annie Talks Show spot.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Annie, for having me on here and letting me yammer on about myself.
Oh my gosh, it's my
Everyone's
pleasure.
favorite topic themselves, right?
It's my pleasure. Let's see. What are we saying? I always say this is a game. You play games for fun. We're not singing to be singers. None of us are professional. We are just having fun with each other. And I'd love to sing with anyone who wants to. And you can be pitch perfect or pitch wreck. It doesn't matter. As long as you're having fun, we jump on anything you see.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Weasel.
Weasel, oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Y'all go sing with Alejandras. Yes, everybody, please,
No,
please.
I'm following Alejandras right now.
Just shout everybody,
I'm already following Alejandras.
And then if you guys know anybody that missed this stream or this episode, this interview, please share the VOD with them, please, please, please. And I will have this up on my YouTube channel in the next couple of days, as well as my podcast. So you can always check my panels down below on my page. If you're do we have my can one of my mods shout out my Discord? You can always join my Discord as well, and can make friends with me. But
get in here.
Gloop, Todd, thank you so much. I had so much fun
Annie,
talking with you.
Everybody sings in this community, but there are those who take it to the next level and contribute something even more. And Annie, you are an amazingly positive force in this community. I see you in so many streams giving nothing but love, and then you do this, which is a passion of yours that you share with these people, these wonderful, wonderful people that we share this game with. And I can't thank you enough for being such a figurehead and a staple of this community, and for continuing to do this wonderful show. I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely. Thank you, you guys. I feel so like, oh gosh, I'm going to go hide in the corner now, but thank you. I don't like to bring the attention. It's not about me. It's always about, it's about you. It's about, yes, absolutely. And that's why this is what I love to do. And this is why I do it, because, oh my gosh, because we have this inside joke going around. It's chonies. One day there's just
Philly is on the chonies train. Oh my god, it cracks me up when Philly says it the most.
It is the most funniest thing. There was just two people in my stream where they were like, we're watching their stream. I was watching their duets, and I was loving it. I was like, oh my god, this is baby making music. And then I just typed in there, I'm throwing my chonies in there, and everybody ran with it. So it's now a big thing.
All up in it. Kevin's in it. Oh my god, it's Chonies Town, USA. Spider's there. Everybody's all about the chonies. Philly was cracking me up the other day. Oh my god, dude, he did it. Philly takes a lot of songs very seriously, that I see. So to hear him work in chonies into a song, I was dying. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I was like, Philly's letting all of his hair down on this one.
Yeah, he did the same on mine.
He's come from a guy who's, who sings very seriously. Not all the time. He's super fun in his chat, don't get me wrong, but he takes the music seriously. He's a freaking musician.
Yeah.
Just unwind and just crack up Guam Nom like that. I was just dying.
Oh, yes. It was great. Well, okay. Well, Natsu, if Natsu's hearing this after in the VOD or whatever, feel free to just message me or Gloop and, Did I hear chonies?
Oh my god, the timing. You can't write that. It's too good.
Oh my gosh, I can't stop smiling, you guys. I'm dying over here. Ay, ay, ay. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, love on each other. Just be there, support each other, and love on each other. Just know that I'm here for you. Anytime if I'm following you, and if I see you streaming, count me there. The only reason I wouldn't be there is maybe if I'm out and about, or I'll take my phone. If I'm out and about, or if I'm absolutely working and I can't, just know I'll be there. And the same, I'm always, if I'm lurking, I'll stop and I'll say hi and I'll go, I'm lurking. But I'm usually more than 100% times there. I mean, people know, right?
Not about it.
I love it. So thank you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, my heart is full, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful evening and morning wherever you are. Thank you guys so much. I know there's people that are around the world that set their alarms just to watch this. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you always for being here and for loving on us as we love on you. So thank you. Thank you. Gloop, thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Have a good one.
See you soon. I'll see you all soon.
Bye.